is Jamie, and welcome to the third episode of Create This Book Too. So in this episode, we're working on some more pages like usual. So this first page says create integration. Integrate this line into a design or drawing. And it just has like a line throughout the page. So what I decided to do was I decided to draw a fish tank. So I first started with sketching out my idea, and then I lined it with my micron pens, and finally I colored it with my color pencils. I think the idea and the execution is actually not too bad on this one. I feel like if there was one thing that I could change, I would definitely make the water a little bit lighter. I feel like I went a little bit too dark, and then it actually looked a little bit better earlier on. But I think in general it's actually pretty cute. So I really wanted it to seem like the fish were exploding out of the fish tank, and then the water was shaking because of that. So don't worry, they're not falling out of it. They're moving out of the fish tank of their own accord. I wanted there to be contrast between the fish and the water, so I made the fish like warm colors, and the water is obviously blue. On the side there's a little bit of fish food, and then you can see on the table that the fish tank is on, there's some water that is spilt out. Besides it being a little bit too dark, I feel like this page turned out really well, and I don't really have anything else to say about it. So the next page is create a puzzle. So what I did for this page was I started to draw out some flowers on a separate piece of paper. This paper I wanted to make sure that it was a little bit thicker so that the puzzle pieces that I eventually cut out would be a little bit more like actual puzzle pieces. So I just started to draw these flowers. I think they all look pretty cool. Just colored them with colored pencils, and then the background I used watercolor, just because I didn't want to waste time coloring such a huge background. So yeah, after I finished coloring in all the flowers, I drew the puzzle pieces, and then I cut them out. This was so tedious. At first I was using a really big pair of scissors, so it was really hard to cut out the individual puzzle pieces. But eventually I realized that it was taking me way too long, so I switched to a smaller pair of scissors, which made everything go by a lot faster, but it still took a very long time. So then I glued all the puzzle pieces back onto the page, and then on the actual page I used some gouache to color in the background. This gouache is like so cheap. It's like called Breeze gouache or something. I definitely would not recommend it, so I'm just trying to get rid of it by using it here. And then finally I glued on the puzzle pieces. I don't know why I decided to do a puzzle like this, because I actually really dislike making puzzles, so this was really annoying for me. I guess I just wanted to torture myself a little bit. I cut open a space so that you could still see the instructions, and then I glued some of the actual puzzle pieces on the side, because if I glued them in, then they would cover up the instructions. And yeah, I think this page turned out really good. It was really tedious and also kind of annoying because I like cut them out only to glue them back together again. But I think it's pretty cute, and you can tell that there's actually a puzzle there that I glued in because it isn't lined up perfectly, which I think is actually a really cute look. So yeah, that's it for this page. The next page says create an assortment. Fill in each box with something different. So I didn't want to fill it in with things that are entirely different. I wanted to have kind of a theme throughout the page. So what I decided to do was I decided to use the fish from Animal Crossing, and I decided to put them here. I went with Animal Crossing fishes because I know that Animal Crossing is a very popular game right now. I did get to play a little bit of it because my brother has a Switch, but he's been hogging it, so I honestly haven't really gone that far. I think the game and the design is very cute, so I wanted to include a little bit of it here. Obviously these fish are actual fish, so it could just be like I drew actual fish, but I wanted it to be like they were from the game. Like I was saying, I wanted to get rid of my gouache, so I colored in these fish with gouache as well. In the boxes, I use these like watercolor brush markers to just color it in. They honestly have the same effect as Crayola markers, so I don't know why I used them instead of Crayola markers, but I was just feeling a little bit special that day. After I glued on all the boxes, I wrote in the name of the fish. Then I highlighted the names of the fish with markers. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this page. I think it turned out really cute, and I really like it. So the final page is create word illustrations. So you're supposed to incorporate a word into a drawing. Yeah, this was kind of a cop-out page, honestly, because I think what it's supposed to be like is you have your word, and then you use that word and you put it into a drawing. But really, I just slapped the word onto a bunch of fruits. I started on a piece of paper with drawing out the fruit, and then I colored them in with watercolors and then outlined them with pencil crayons. I think it looks very nice and cohesive because the pencil crayons give it a very soft look because I'm not using black, which is very harsh. For the background, I used watercolors again, and I just colored it in orange because I felt like being bright that day. And then around the fruits, I kind of did a little bit of color variation around them because I feel like the orange was a little bit plain. Then finally, after I glued it in, I did some designs with colored pencils around the instructions, and I think it turned out really good. I really want to try aligning more with colors in the future because I feel like it gives a really cool look. So that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you look in the top right corner, you can see a poll that you can vote for which one was your favorite page. I think all of these pages are actually really strong. I think I'm tied between the Animal Crossing fish and the fruit page because I think they both turned out very good. My Instagram is Jellothy. If you want to go follow me there, that would be really cool. I like to post digital art. So yeah, as always, like, comment, subscribe. If you look on screen right now, there should be 2 videos that popped up and my channel. So if you want to click on one of those, that'd be really cool. As always, stay safe. Bye.